On a cold February night in 2014, in Holmes County, Mississippi, 78-year-old Walter Williams lay still in his modest home, the air heavy with grief and finality. His family watched as a coroner searched for a pulse and found nothing, no breath, no response. The words were spoken softly but firmly. Time of death. Paperwork followed. A zipper closed. Walter Williams was declared gone. He was placed inside a black body bag, the kind designed to end stories, not pause them. Darkness wrapped around him as he was transported to a funeral home miles away. The ride was quiet. To the outside world, Walter was no longer a man. He was a task to be completed, a body to be prepared. In that silence, his heart, stubborn and unseen, refused to surrender. Hours passed. Fluorescent lights buzzed in the embalming room. Stainless steel reflected a clinical coldness that left no room for hope. As workers began their grim routine, one of them noticed something impossible. The body bag shifted, a foot pressed outward. Then another movement, kicking, life. Panic exploded through the room. Zippers were torn open. Walter's eyes fluttered. He gasped, pulling air into lungs everyone believed were done forever. Hands shook as 911 was called. The man who had been signed into death was suddenly fighting to stay alive. Sirens screamed as Walter was rushed back to the hospital he had left as a corpse. Doctors stabilized him. Monitors confirmed what faith had already declared. He was alive. Against all logic, against paperwork and procedure, Walter Williams survived. His family, stunned and weeping, called it what it felt like: a miracle. The horror of what happened cannot be softened. A man labeled dead, sealed in a bag, hours from embalming. It was a failure of medicine, yes, but also a terrifying reminder of how thin the line between life and death can be. Yet within that darkness lived something stronger than fear, a will that refused to extinguish. This is why the fight matters. Faith, so often confused for delusion, becomes essential when logic collapses and fear screams the loudest. Faith and fear cannot be held at the same time. One must be chosen. A family, and most importantly a person, must decide which to carry, even when the hour is at its darkest. And what is darker than eyes open wide, breath burning inside your lungs, trapped within a sealed body bag? Walter's body had been weak, his pulse faint, but somewhere deeper, something fought on. Some called it God, some called it destiny. Some simply called it the human spirit. Whatever the name, it answered in the last possible moment. Walter did not awaken screaming in anger. He awoke alive. His family held his hands with reverence, as if touching proof that endings are not always final. He later returned home, not as a man cheated by death, but as one who had stared into it and come back. This is a chilling warning and a radiant truth. Until the final breath truly leaves, life deserves belief. Walter Williams' story stands as testimony. Even in the coldest room, even when the zipper is closed, hope can still breathe, and sometimes it refuses to die.